Welcome back to Daily Flash. Our next guest is Emily Swisher. She is a psychotherapist specializing in equine interventions. Her new book, titled Stable, is about the healing nature of horses. Emily, welcome to Daily Flash.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So tell us, what is an equine intervention?
Of course. So, equine intervention is just a broad term that covers a lot of ground. I think by now most people have heard the term horse therapy thrown around, and that can either be a physical or mental health therapist that uses horses as part of an intervention in their treatment modality, to adaptive riding lessons that are geared towards anyone with a physical or cognitive difference that needs a bit of support. So, I actually started my career doing adaptive riding lessons before I moved into psychotherapy and have since expanded into wellness retreats, corporate coaching, and different events here locally in Montana.
Emily, give us some more insight into how horses have helped with your own healing process.
Absolutely. So, Stable kind of chronicles not only my career path, but how I fell in love with horses around age 10. And they just happened to be that grounding element for me throughout adolescence. My teenage years were a bit destructive as I was processing some of my own trauma. And I just think it's important for all of us to have not only this space or this community where we feel supported and accepted for who we are, particularly teenage girls nowadays. So, yeah, horses just happen to be that throughout my life.
Let's talk about how equine intervention has helped your clients when it comes to reconnecting and finding some peace and happiness.
Definitely. So I've seen everything from the subtle to the miraculous of an impacted adult speaking their very first words from the back of a horse. And I write about this teenage girl in Stable. She was coming to us as she was relearning how to walk. She was wheelchair bound due to a chronic pain condition. And after several weeks of riding lessons, she was actually able to start running alongside her horse in the arena, kind of with this new motivation, strength, and resilience. So every person that comes to me has a very remarkable and unique set of background. And it can be anyone that's healing from grief or trauma. They come into the barn with this pain that's very heavy. And the barn is just kind of this sanctuary that they can feel at peace. And they can start kind of integrating back into their life and into the world again. I really enjoy working with women who have been in an abusive or domestic violence situation and they've ingrained kind of this negative belief system that they're taking up too much space or asking for too much. And horses by nature are very gentle, but they're very large. And so they require a confident and capable leader that can help direct, the body appropriately, that they're safe around the horses. And so it's very neat to kind of be this interpreter between the horse, what they're telling me with their body language, and what the client's bringing into the session. So it's great for adolescents as they're learning that emotional and behavioral self regulation and awareness that they can then take into school and back into homes. So, yeah, there's some really unique stories in Stable.
I've loved horses since I was a young child, and my parents would never indulge me, in riding lessons or anything like that because of the safety and expense issues as a younger person. But as an adult, I decided to get into it, and it's amazing, the therapy and the freedom and the comfort you feel after a really good lesson at the barn. And I've also seen with a lot of the younger girls who are teenagers, if they've got a barn to go to, if they have a lesson or a horse, we call it horse crazies. I'm sure you're familiar with. There is a certain motivation that just keeps them in line. They love that horse. They're going to take on those riding lessons. That's their focus. So it keeps them out of trouble, I guess, for lack of a better phrase.
Definitely. And I'm so glad to hear that horses have been an outlet for you and that you finally got your opportunity to ride.
Definitely. And, we've seen a few people come to the barn, some parents who had autistic children. And it's
Mm.
amazing the connection they have with these horses. They communicate with those horses in a way that they can't communicate on the ground with their parents. Once they're up in that saddle, it's a whole different experience.
Definitely. Yeah, their horses are so accepting and just whatever we bring into the room and it's great that you've seen that yourself as well.
Emily, this has been terrific. Any insight you can share with folks who are a bit nervous around horses, that would love to kind of indulge a passion, but are a little bit, they don't have the confidence?
Definitely. So I think there's always this kind of like false belief that horses can read somebody, like if you're a good or bad person, so to speak. But truly, they're just wanting us to be congruent with our emotions. So if you're nervous, you can just own that of like, sometimes I speak out loud around horses of like, hey, I'm a little nervous around you, but I'm willing to get to know you. So as long as we're showing up where our emotions and our body and behavior match what we're feeling, horses feel safe around this. So, yeah, there's no need to put on a false front or, confidence if we're not feeling confident in that moment. So just own however you're feeling and they will accept that.
There's such great confidence builders. Emily, this has been terrific. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you.
For more information or to get a copy of Emily's book, Stable, A Therapist and the Healing Nature of Horses, please visit EmilySwisherCounseling.com. And we'll be sure to have this entire interview on our website at dailyflashshow.com. Stay with us, more Daily Flash in just a moment.